One of the biggest complaints with this generation is how long titles take to release. Instead of getting a release every couple of years, a 6 or more year gap is becoming increasingly common. So, it's a shock how stacked 2025 is for Atelier games. Yumiya released in March, a Ryza trilogy is set for November, and right now there's the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian. Taking place in the same universe as the mobile game, Forgotten Alchemy and the Liberator of Polar Night, it hopes to expand on the world and bring them together. With so much going on, is this a perfect recipe or a foul mixture? Before getting into the review, I wanted to touch on the previously released mobile game. As per the official FAQ, knowledge of the century is not required. Despite taking place in the same universe, mainland, and timeline, they run parallel one another. It is a unique story that takes place after Weltitz's defeat and before the quest that follows. Unfortunately, this is a title I did not experience, nor am I able to since the service concluded in the US earlier this year. That said, the wiki mentions this fight takes place during the 9th chapter of a 27 chapter experience, so about a third? Beyond that, I can't say I experienced something where I felt like I was out of the loop either. The interesting thing about this experience is it feels like a mainline entry, whereas Yumiya was more of a spin-off vibe. For those who didn't play Yumiya, it was much closer to the typical RPG. Basically, you needed to gather a crew to fight a great evil and save the day through the use of your Atelier. Here, it follows the Atelier formula to a T. Players can select either of the main characters, each with their own story to unfold. Slade's story centers around him returning home to solve a variety of mysteries, whereas Reyes does the whole secret Atelier and save the town thing. I joke, but I actually appreciate it chooses to embrace what players loved about the previous titles. It's a cozy adventure with cute girls and a colorful palette with a splash of darkness to keep things interesting. Long-standing fans will be delighted to hear it features a number of cameos. I don't want to spoil too much, though anyone paying attention to the title sequence will notice a few, and they all add their own unique flavor to the adventure. One that will likely make those put off by Yumiya very happy.
いいえ、構いませんよ。でも、そんなに慌ててどうしたんですか？実は私たち、道に迷っちゃって、今ここがどこなのか教えてほしいっていうか。なんだ、そんなことですか。ここはクワ州にある安らぎの庭園ですよ。クワ州？ってどこ？
クワ州ってのは王国北東に位置する州だ。ハルフェンからだと馬に乗っても10日はかかる。
そんなに遠いところに？信じられない。
これが悪空の道の力なのか。
教えてくれてありがとう。私はアーシャって言います。アーシャ・アルトゥール。
Combat is back to being turn-based with the ability to block incoming attacks, though those uninterested in that can enable auto-block in the settings. There are a few twists, like items can be thrown and combined to deal greater damage, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward. Well, besides elemental affinities, apparently rock types are weak to thunder and turtles are bested by fire. Look, I don't really get it, though at least it tells you if the enemy is weak or strong to something before attacking. There are also other types of attacks, like multi-action. These are powerful combination attacks that can quickly overwhelm hostile threats. All of this makes for a competent system, one that honestly feels like a regression, though not so bad as to ruin the overall experience. Outside of combat is a largely linear world to explore, each filled with resources to collect and hidden treasure to uncover. Neither of these are particularly complex either. Most treasure is hidden in a corner or behind a mechanic that unlocks later in the story. A simple strike can be used to gather resources that can be used to craft new items or be sold in the shop. While I wouldn't say this is the most complicated Atelier system, I think it's in a good overall place. Crafting starts by selecting a recipe. From there, a variety of ingredients are required to make it. These are separated by quality, which may include additional attributes, though the important thing is the color arrangement. Here, the idea is rather simple. If an item is red and blue, you're encouraged to use something that has blue on the other side. More complicated recipes allow further chaining, making things a little bit more complicated than simply selecting the best attributes. The same system is present in the shop as well. It isn't enough to select key resources or focus on reputation. Matching colors vastly increases the potential payout. Since this can be on the tedious side, there's also an auto option. These include reputation types, along with focusing on the cash payout. The only thing that sucks is how bland the shop function ultimately is. Instead of character interactions, it's just a montage of random moments that ends with you getting rewarded. There is some depth, such as optional tasks and demand dictating what you should focus on, but overall it's really not much. Before getting to the conclusion, I wanted to briefly touch on character reactions. While Atelier games have historically handled the main characters well, I appreciate the time and effort that went into how characters react. It's a small touch that really stands out and helps make the world feel far more alive.
大事に至らなくてよかったけど、盗み聞きなんて感心しないわね。
ごめん。
大事な遺跡に踏み入ってしまい、ご迷惑をおかけしました。
あ、スレイ君はそんなに硬くならないでいいのよ。迷惑をかけたのはリオスの方なんだから。
恐れ入ります。
ところで、スレイ君はどちらから？
ルイネ州です。どうしても調べたいことがありまして。
While I think Yumiya did some things better, this feels like a more traditional Atelier experience. It's an upbeat world that is filled with a delightful wonder that urges players to continue pushing forward. It might not be perfect, or even as deep as previous entries, but it does contain the things that players enjoy about the franchise, something that I think longstanding fans will appreciate, along with the colorful interactions with the diverse cast of Alchemists from years past. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and for more content, please subscribe.